Allah Yamla, Allahayana Yahweh Bashim Hawashah Hamashiach wa Malaki Bahashim Harawat Kakurash Brakathum, the water Baba Bawa Kwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine, I say Shalom. Today we're gonna get into a video where it's this Edomite woman. She's revealing the atrocities of lynching. And Esau goes above and beyond the call of duty of wickedness just for us. And you think the Lord ain't gonna pay back for all this excessive, deliberate wickedness? Oh, y'all crazy as hell. Y'all think the Lord just gonna let this slide and roll out the red carpet to the kingdom for y'all? You Edomites didn't get the memo. You're not untouchable. You're not immortal. You're not invincible. You are the base man that's about to get everything you dished out to the Israelites double. And the elders was right. It's a spirit, it's a vibration moving throughout the earth. These Edomites are feeling that guilt. That's stage one of your judgment because the Lord is plaguing you with guilt, regret, and everything that comes with being wicked. But see, this is part of the process. First, the Lord exposes you slash shames you, and then you get your judgment. So a lot of Edomites are feeling that guilt because it's it's uh it's a scripture on it that the truth will be revealed in the last days. Mountains of truth will spring out of the earth in the last days. Let's get that one. Because these people think they ain't gonna get punished. That's why they so messed up. They're worried. Here we go. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 85, verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. But the point is still there. Let me see if I can find it one more time before we get into this video. Uh, hmm. Let me see if this is Second Thessalonians. Okay, I don't see it, but it's in there. I just gotta find it. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Before we do that, let's get a copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowances made for fair use of purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Let's go ahead and get the video and watch how graphic this Edomite woman goes into detail about how these Edomites, they just love death. And they were hypocrites at the same time. These people came straight from church to murder and think they all good with the Lord. Delusional people, but it's written, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing. And the name of this video is on the Arrows of Indignations channel 144. The name of it is The Dirty Secret That Esau Used to Be Proud of. Now He is in Denial. The Hanging Ritual. See, it's a ritual. Let's get it. I'm just gonna let her speak, and at the end we'll get a few scriptures, and that'll be it. Let's get it.
White people often think of lynchings as something that happened in the dark of night when a few rogue characters whisk a black person away and murder them. And maybe that's what's happening today in the lynchings that are occurring today. But historically in this country, I think we need to be aware of a different reality. Lynchings in American history of black people have taken place in a ritualistic way. There's an order to it. And it looks like this. I'll illustrate with the case of Jesse Washington. Now, Jesse was a 17-year-old kid. He was a farm laborer in Waco, Texas. Texas was notorious for stuff like this. Here's the first part of the ritual. He was accused of murdering a white woman. Her name was Lucy Fryer, and she was his boss's wife. Well, he got a trial. It lasted about an hour, and the jury deliberated for just a couple minutes before they sentenced him to death. And what happened next is this pattern that happens throughout history in all these so-called spectacle lynchings. A crowd storms into the courtroom. They seized Washington and dragged him through town. Now, sometimes they break the guy out of jail. Sometimes they go to his home and drag him away. And then there's the audience. In the spectacle gatherings, there can be a big crowd. There were 5,000 to 10,000 people at Jesse Washington's murder, and they brought picnics. There were photographers. It was a party. So this was a community event that white people did to bolster white supremacy. Oh, good, we're going to have a lynching. And let's plan for that. We know what goes into a lynching. It's always the same. Let me bring in the point about this being a family affair. Businesses closed, schools let out, and children were an active part of the lynching scene. This creeps me the fuck out. Then comes a period of torture. It's rare for someone to immediately be hung to death. Usually there's torture first. In the case of Jesse Washington, this 17-year-old kid, he was hung by a chain over a tree, and then the chain was raised and lowered into a fire below his feet repeatedly for approximately 2 hours until he finally died. During this process, while he was still alive, he would occasionally try to pull himself out of the fire because his body was burning. Well, they didn't like this, so they cut off his fingers so that he could no longer pull himself out of the fire. Families posed for photographs. So after Mr. Washington died, people rushed up to the remains and cut away pieces of Mr. Washington's body as souvenirs. Children participated in the dismembering of the body. Boys pulled the teeth out of his skull to either sell or keep for souvenirs. Now, it is not easy to get the teeth out of a young adult in their prime. They had to use force. They had to have teamwork. And the children did this. Children stood over his burnt body and pried or broke teeth from his skull while adults watched. And then after it was all over, the photographers sold the pictures. They sold the pictures of the murder. It was a public ritual of racial terror that was witnessed, approved, and remembered apparently fondly by an entire community. Our culture, such as it is, devised a system of ritualized murder of black people. Those kids lived on, and they raised kids. A kid who participated in a lynching raised children, and those children grew up, and their children are alive now. So you can see how the ritual destroys the notion that this was just random crazy acts, and supports the notion that this was a community event that was ritualized and valued. Religious leaders were often involved in the accusation and in the trial and participated in the lynchings. Get curious.
Right, there you go. First of all, she was talking about that like that happened millions of years ago. Lynchings of Israelites are still going on to this day. How many bodies did they find this year that they blamed on suicide? Just like the elder brought out. They found one Israelite lynched with two broken legs, and they ruled it out as suicide. So with two broken legs, his upper body strength was strong enough to hoist himself up on a rope and hang himself. Yeah. I found the scripture is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. Now, once again, 3/5 of a human. They call us 3/5 of a human in their constitution, but who's always been acting like 3/5 of a human. That was excessive over murder. It wasn't overkill. It was excessive over murder. And Esau enjoys this, but he's a child of God. Right. Straight from church to murder. You heard the details. They let schools out for this. Like it was a state fair or something. They sold pictures. They let the kids mutilate the remains, but these are civilized people. Mm-hmm. Job chapter 9, verse 24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, not wed. Who is he? This is wicked Edomite behavior and wicked Edomite culture. Because the Edomites from 200 years ago, they died off, right? So why is this still going on to this day? Because you come back in the reincarnation, that same wicked spirit, every third, fourth generation. A generation lasts from 20 to 25 years. So you come back roughly every 75 to 100 years. That's why it's still going on. Yeah, yeah, you might be born into a new baby body, but that spirit is ancient. That perpetual hatred for Jacob is ancient. That's why they can't figure out why they hate us so much. It's spiritual. And then lie like they don't. But their actions reveal otherwise. Psalm chapter 37, verse 32, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him, even if they got a lie on you to justify themselves for the murder. All that shit done played out. Y'all finna get this back double. Psalm 73, verse 5, they're not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Because why? Because Job chapter 9, verse 24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Only for a temporary time, though, and they're coming to the end of their rulership. That's why they panic and don't know what to do, because the Lord has he's basically plaguing their spirits with guilt, regret, fear, helplessness, hopelessness. Yeah, y'all being plagued with that right now. The physical punishment coming later. Well, I would say sooner than later. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 59. This is talking about wicked two-third Israelites, but you can apply this to Esau because this is where they get this behavior from. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 6. Their web shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hand. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. Because Esau is not a man of peace. He is a man of war, violence, and wickedness. Matter of fact, let me get this. These are the things that Esau hates, and it shows through his actions. Not his words because he lies so much, but it shows through his actions. He hates righteousness, correction, instruction, truth, reality, order, peace, life, love, justice, and unity. He hates all that. He's against it, strongly against it, because when you speak truth, he gets angry. But see, and then when you ask him questions, he gets angry. And my grandparents always said, you want to piss off a liar, keep asking him questions. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, his neighbor, and he is not, because he's in rulership. He gets to steal what he wants to steal. He'll pull out a piece of paper and a pen and give himself permission to take your shit. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 5. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies. Listen to this. And weary themselves to commit iniquity, going above and beyond the call of wickedness to commit wickedness. Yeah, they go out their way. You don't believe me? Hey, it was a video came out a couple of weeks ago about some cops, and they got a call saying that a so-called black man was in a white van. They got a call saying there was two so-called black men in the white van out here wreaking havoc. So the cops got excited. See what I'm saying? And when they came up on a white van, they tried to pull him up. Well, I don't know that I forgot the specific details, but they ended up shooting this van up after I think they tried to do a pit maneuver and the van rolled a couple times, and they filled this van full of bullet holes without even trying to investigate if they had the right suspects or not. Come to find out, it wasn't two so-called black men in that van. It was an Edomite that they killed, overkill. And then these two cops, they told the parents that there was an exchange of gunfire. The man didn't have no gun. I think he was a technician on his way to fix some servers or something. They found no gun. But I told y'all the story to show you how Esau gets excited at the very thought of murdering Israelites. Let's go to Psalms chapter 58, verse 2. Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And a lot of them, they'll lie like it never happened. Murdering Israelites and then calling it suicide. Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Let's get this one, Isaiah chapter 14. And they even resort to cannibalism. They actually got a cookbook called The Delectable Negro. These people are animals. 3/5 of a human. That's your Edomite. And they think they ain't gonna get judged for this. This is Psalm chapter 14, verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt and have done abominable works, and there is none that doeth good. See, they think there is no God. So they're free to just do whatever and then just die, and that be it. That's why they wait till they on their deathbed to confess shit, because they trying to get accepted into their heaven that don't exist. You already in your heaven. Heaven, your heaven is on this earth while you in rulership. Verse 4, have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? They eat up my people as they eat bread and call not upon the Lord Yahweh. See? And that's literal. I just told you about the cookbook. Let's get this one. It's a lot. I don't think that was it. But we can get Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side, and the vilest men are exalted. That can only take place in a wicked kingdom. Look at Trump. When it says the wicked walk on every side, when the vilest men are exalted, Trump's in the middle of all those wicked men. That's why you got all these liars in government. Man, it's a lot. Let's go to Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. All this man does is violent acts, and then want to lie about the violence like it was righteous. See, that goes back to Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe to those that call evil good and good evil, roughly paraphrasing. Let's go to Psalms chapter 140. We start at verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagineth mischiefs in his heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Salah. A gin is a trap. And what kind of trap they did? They lied on him just so they can have a reason to murder him. And that's common. Look how many cops have been caught after they murder the innocent, lying on them. Because when a cop murders a innocent person, what they do is they victimize themselves and demonize the actual victim. So it would seem like the murder was justified. Just like the story I just told you, they told the parents that there was an exchange of gunfire when he didn't have a gun. So that was murder. But don't worry about it. You about to get all that back because if you can dish it out, you can take it, right? You superior, baby. Yeah, you is. Mm-hmm. You could do captivity. You could do 1,000 years of captivity standing on one leg. You good, baby. You exalt yourself as you just the shit. We gonna find out. Let's go to Psalms chapter 11, verse 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares and fire and brimstone and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And some of those snares, the Lord raining down on y'all, he's throwing monkey wrenches in your little plan. First of all, he got your own people telling on you, especially the Edomite woman. And it says right here, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. So God does not love everybody. Christians, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is not for everybody. Christians. But y'all hard headed as hell. You love your enemy. You're gonna believe anything he say. So I'm wasting my breath. But guess what? When you get destroyed with they lying ass, that nuclear fire gonna give all y'all understanding. Right before you go into the spiritual world. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause something to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Verse 19, the way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. They don't know because see, they didn't spread this. They didn't spread so many lies about how the Lord loves everybody. They start to actually believe their own lies. So they think they're getting away with it. They think they can do whatever. And sweet Jesus just gonna come down and hug everybody, and they got away with it scot free. That is not how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah works. Y'all about to find out though. Let's keep rolling. But see, it was in the scriptures. It was in the curses for this to happen to us though. And you know what else is in this Bible? What's about to happen to you Edomites. So if all those curses came to pass to punish us, guess what else finna come to pass? The prophecies that state you going into captivity for 1,000 years. Not just you, all the other 16 nations that took advantage of us, they going too. The difference is, at the end of 1,000 years, y'all gonna be rounded up, exterminated. So you earned your judgment. Keep on earning it. You're doing a wonderful job at destroying yourself. We love it. Shit, if I was a voting man, which I'm not, I'll vote for Trump again. Because like we said before he even got in there, y'all think this man saving y'all. No, he gonna speed up the destruction, and that's exactly what he did. Go Trump. Way to destroy your people and your kingdom. Let's see, what am I looking for? Oh, 19. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in the land. That cannot be misinterpreted. There was a prophecy that came to pass in Babylon, especially Babylon. John chapter 10, verse 10. Lord Yahweh Shah speaking red letter. The thief cometh not but for to kill, to steal, and to destroy. I have come that they might have life and they may have it more abundantly. So the Lord didn't come back to save us from this animal. Esau kill everybody and everything on the planet. It's in his nature. That's why we tell y'all stop expecting the wicked to be righteous. He wasn't created to be a righteous judge. He was created to be the wicked. So Micah, y'all ain't getting out of this. Verse 1, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand, because the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Verse 2, and they cover fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. What does that sound like? Does that not sound like when we at peace by ourselves, like in Rosewood, Florida, for example? They come rolling up in the middle of the night with their burning crosses and their emotions, and the rest is history. You know the rest. Verse 3, but the Lord got us some in the trick bag for you. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for the time is evil. The Lord bringing that evil upon y'all. The Lord controls both sides. If he didn't control good and evil, he wouldn't be the Almighty. Micah chapter 6, verse 12. For the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Therefore also will I make thee sick in smiting thee, in making thee desolate because of thy sins. Yep. Now let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land or fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said the Lord. Mm-hmm. Yeah, prepare slaughter for his children. Because remember when I told you about how you come back every third, fourth generation? Yeah, prepare slaughter for his children. That means the ones who did the actual lynching after they die and be reincarnated into this world as a murderer's son or daughter, they still gonna get it too because it's that same spirit. It just came back to get judged. So all those people who committed the lynchings, they came back as children of Edom in the reincarnation just to get judged for what they did in their past life. Y'all just don't know. Y'all was the biggest tools in the Lord's toolbox. Because he about to use you. He use you to punish us. Now he finna use you to destroy your own kingdom that we built. And then he gonna use you to build our kingdom for free over a period of 1,000 years. Build a suite. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations. Spoil mean rob. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covetous an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. But he will not be delivered into the power of evil. He will be delivered into the hand of captivity. Because we know how you Edomites, y'all like to duck and dodge justice and punishment. And it also shows how weak you are because you in your own kingdom. Why you got the highest suicide rate in your own kingdom? Because you weak as fuck. That's why. Keep going. Let's go to the book of Second Peter. Second Peter chapter 2, verse 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. The whole nation of Edom in America, y'all pretty much walk in charcoal, just like the elders say. Verse 12, but these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. So if you so superior, why is it prophesied that you're gonna be stupid enough to destroy yourself? That's not what superior intelligent people does. They do the opposite of what Esau has been doing. All kind of manner of wickedness and lying about everything. Get a few more. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 35. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Verse 11, therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given to us to consume. What was that she said in the video about how after he died, they start cutting off parts, pulling teeth? They really think that the Lord gave us over to them to consume. Nope, you're wrong again. Verse 13, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate. So will I do unto thee, thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord. See, the Lord didn't leave room for misinterpretation. He called y'all out, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea. You can't twist that scripture. That's straightforward, to the point. Because we know how y'all like to lie and shit, just putting it out there. Just in case you was thinking about doing it, which I know you was. Now let's go to Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged themselves upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also even stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. Verse 14, one of my personal favorites. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. Y'all finna catch them flops. And they shall do it in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. So vengeance is on his way. Let's go to Amos chapter 1. Verse 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. That's why it's still going on to this day. It didn't happen hundreds of years ago. Yeah, it did, but it still happening to this day. So stop trying to talk about this and frame it as something of the ancient past when you're still doing it to this day. Let's go to Amos 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. That means the Lord's going to restore us to our original form. This is not us. We in the chains of darkness right now, these mortal human bodies. When the Lord restores us fully, we'll be immortal gods walking amongst mortals on the earth in rulership. Remember what Lord Yahweh Shah said, ye are gods, but ye will die like the men, roughly paraphrasing. Yeah, he knew who we was, but we in these mortal bodies as punishment, as part of our punishment. But when the Lord fully restores us, we're going to be immortal gods walking amongst mortals in rulership. These other 17 nations, they're going to be the only ones that's dying. You're going to be in your prime for eternity. That's what the Lord meant by eternal life. Not floating up into the clouds, living up there. How? That don't make sense. Yeah, there's a spiritual world up there where you go when you die, just to come back down here to receive your judgment under the sun. What is under the sun? The earth. Let's get it. Let me see if I can find it. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse. Let's see. We'll start at verse 14. I know that whatsoever Yahweh doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And Yahweh doeth it, and men should fear before him. That which has been is now, and that which is to be half all. Wait, let me start over. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. Yahweh requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. So you got good and evil on the earth, because you got the righteous and the wicked on the earth. Verse 17, I said in mine heart, Yahweh shall judge the righteous and the wicked. See, for there is a time, there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. Let's keep rolling. We almost done. That's why it tells you in the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And it's reiterated in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. We know that's not possible. Therefore, the wicked cannot be righteous. That is not their purpose. I guess we can end it in go to Nahum real quick. I want to see something. Yep. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3. We'll start at verse 2. Yahweh is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries and reserve wrath for his enemies. The Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. Y'all ain't getting away with nothing. The Lord Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Now let's end it in Obadiah. Y'all already know. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Temi, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Now, the next scripture, the Lord finna tell you, Edomites, where you messed up at. Verse 11. In that day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even though was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. What else? Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yet thou shouldest not have looked upon their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Mm-hmm. All that shit you stole? Yeah. What else, Lord? Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape, neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. When the Lord says those of his, that means his people, his elect, especially his elect, because the Lord ain't gonna let you touch his elect. He gonna lift the standard. When you kick the door in of the elect, the Lord gonna have the soul that elect Israelite gonna put 1,000 of you Israelites to flight. Y'all gonna be running for your lives because that elect Israelite is going to be blessed with spiritual, immortal, limitless power. Even the Lord said it. Let's get it before we finish up in Obadiah. This is the book of John, chapter 14, verse 12. This is the red letter. Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Yeah. Verse 13, and whosoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Yeah. If ye ask anything in my name, I will do it. But the point was back in 13, 12, Salaki. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he also do, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. See? So in essence, it's gonna be 144,000 plus the number one third lowercase gods walking the earth, along with Lord Yahweh Shai and King David. So go get your gun, Edom, so we can make you eat it. Yahweh Ratazah, we be of that number. We're gonna make you break that bitch down and eat it piece by piece since you love guns so much. You're gonna have an interesting morning if you survive. That's what you call a slow, painful death. Imagine gun parts going through your digestive system, puncturing organs and intestines. Mm-hmm. Payback a bitch. Now let's finish up in Obadiah. Verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink. Yeah, they shall drink continually, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Everything you stole, get ready to run it. Plus some. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. How many scriptures have I read that stated that Esau gonna be cut off? There'll be none remaining. How many scriptures have I read where he's speaking directly to old Mount Seir and all Idumea, even all of it? Y'all earned y'all judgment. Verse 21. And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Earn your judgment. Keep on doing a good job, Edom, because we can see it that the fact that we ignoring you angers you. So that's gonna pump you up to do stupid shit to get our attention just for you to get judged. If y'all haven't noticed, Edom, the curses of Cain the protection of Cain has come off of you. Because it used to be a time where you can get away with this shit, but not no more. Because you are entering the last days of your rulership. And upon that, judgment is right around the corner. But before the Lord judges you physically, he's exposing you and shaming you at the same time. So, hey, like I said, if I was a voting man, I would vote for Trump because he's the only guarantee that this kingdom will be destroyed. And the quicker he destroys his own kingdom, his own people, the quicker the kingdom of heaven will be ushered in, and these animals we will not have to deal with after 1,000 years. Call halal yimlala, hi now, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Harawat Wakak Warash Barakatham, the water by Babal Wakam Yasharalo. Shalom.